this is what you see when you first log in and first create a new form. At the moment, we're in the question mode and we're in editing, so we can do all sorts of different things to it. The response section will be empty because there's been no responses to your form yet. Along the top, we've got customize theme, which is where we can change the colors and decide what it looks like. There's a few options there for basic color codes, and we can start adding images in as well. We'll look at that later on. There's a preview mode, which will open the quiz or the form in a new tab and let you see it how the users will see it. The settings cog, which gives you all sorts of options about sharing and how it works. And then the send button, which is the big one, which makes the quiz or the form go live. So going back to questions, because this is the main editing part of it, the interface is really simple. Whichever box we clicked on is highlighted, and that's the one we can currently edit. So at the moment, it's got me on the untitled question, which is question number 1, I guess. So we can just click in there and we can easily change the name of the question to whatever we want. So we can make it into question 1, or we could have a simple question of, are you happy? Now, by default, it's gone to multiple choice. And you'll notice as I type that in, it's then made suggestions for the answers. It suggested yes, no, and maybe. So I could put my own options in here, or I could just save myself some time and click add all. If I decide I want to get rid of the maybe, I just go across here and remove. So I've now got a question and 2 possible answers. It defaults to multiple choice, although it can adjust as it goes along if it thinks you're asking a different type of question. To look at the different types of questions, we just click in here, and we'll do a separate video looking at how they all work. There's lots of different options of question types there. Down at the bottom, we've got a button for duplicating, which means make a direct copy of the question, so it repeats it, and we can then edit the repeated copy. We can delete and get rid of a question, and we can force a question to be required. That means it puts a little red star next to it. It means that the user has to answer that question to move on. While I've got this one selected, I've now brought up this little tab next to it. We'll look at that in a second, because you'll go see it moves in a second. I'm going to click on here now, the untitled form box at the top. When I do that, I can now edit this form. You see that question's now contracted because I'm not editing it anymore. And this is the title at the top of the quiz. So my new quiz, my new questions. And then that's the title everyone will see. It's the name of the form when it goes out there. A big question. That's my little description, so a little bit more information about it. This guy followed us along. Now, this is all about the next block. So we've got 2 blocks at the moment. By clicking on these, I can add another question. I can import a question. So I can go to an existing slide, and I can add like text breaks, picture breaks, or video breaks. These could be really useful if you're wanting to add extra information before a round of questions. There's also an option on sections, which is a much more powerful tool that we'll look at later. Now, because it moves around when I click on a box, so when I click on here, I'm now editing this box, it's moved down. That's because when I click on one of these options, it puts the question in next. So if I add a new question now, it will come after my are you happy question. Okay, so if I go up to the top and I decide that I want to add a question here, it'll add it before the are you happy question. It's quite a useful tool when you're structuring your quiz or forms, but you can also drag things around. At any time, you can adjust the order of questions by moving things around like this. The import question is really powerful because if you want to reuse a form that you've already done, you can just go into this selection here and it brings you up all sorts of different forms, and you can reuse either a whole form or just different bits of the questioning, which can save a huge amount of time if you want to periodically reuse the same form or use it as an information gatherer at the start of your term or a year. That is the basic layout of Google Forms. I'm going to start looking at other bits of it with different videos.